Good evening, Sunday evening. So I'm going to get started here, and hopefully, when people start coming in, I will get going. And I'm going to start off by answering one of the questions that got asked, and it is a great question, and it's kind of by the description of my that. And the other thing is I don't know. I'm hoping my volume is good and everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, either give me a thumbs up or let me know in the comments below, so that way I know I have volume. All good. Awesome. Thanks, Jay. So all good. So I got voice. I'm doing it a little bit different. Normally, I've been filming it on my phone. This is on my laptop, so I wasn't 100% sure. I don't know how good the quality of my camera is going to be. So that's kind of a new thing I'm just doing today, and we'll see how it goes. So this is, I'm going to start off with the question, and if you have other questions, let me just put them in the bottom here, and I'll try to answer them as I go. But one of the questions that just came in to me was asking about administrative stuff. And normally, I know this channel is a lot about, how-tos and that kind of stuff, and everything about how to do it, and even the how to, just breaking it down to the individual pieces of the equipment. But this is a great question. And the question was, I'm going to actually read it here, and that way I don't mess it up. But talk about administrative stuff. The estimate, the proposal, write-up, all the way to collecting payment. A quick bottom of the line, upfront type video. I also have a renovation business that I sign a contract and pay 40% upfront, and he don't think that will fly in this business. All right. So the question is kind of the administrative stuff of how we collect everything. So this starts all the way back to your landing page. Honestly, it really does start all the way back. So to give an estimate, there's a couple ways we can do that. We can do it through one way is basically when we're getting our information, we want to get everything we can. We want to get their name, email, and phone number. Those are the three most important things. We could care less about anything else except those three things. And the more simple we keep it, the better off you'll get people to fill out a form. In the very beginning, I preach responsibility. Our company used it. It helped us grow in 2016. It really pushed us up in 2006 or 15, 16. It really helped us with it. But what we found out is that long form, nobody's going to fill it out. You're going to get errors, and nobody's going to fill that form out. So when we need to get our estimate, we really want those three important things: is our name, phone number, and email address. And even the name can be questionable. I don't make the name a required one, and I don't make anything else required. The only two things on any of my forms that I make required is their phone number and their email address, because I want those two ways to be able to contact these people and to be able to get them from putting their information in to getting their information. And even on the phone, I want to be able to, even Christmas sites or any of that kind of stuff that's a high dollar ticket, I still want their name and their email address and their phone number, because if I got that, then I can market to them later. And if I paid for a lead today, I want to be able to use this lead for months down the road, years down the road. I'm still going to email these people and try to get it. So the very first thing is the name and email address and phone number. So once somebody calls us, and to the estimate side of things, this goes to my next favorite thing, which is packages. Packages are very important when estimating. There's a couple different ways that you can estimate. You can estimate, online, or you can estimate in person. If you go in person, you're probably going to get a higher ticket and you're probably going to get a higher close rate. If you do it online, you might get a little less ticket, not much, and then a little less um, um, close rate, because we're not building that know, like, and trust factor as much as we are when we go there in person. So when we get that estimate, we want to do packages. And so if we go online and we do it through the online process, look it up on Google Earth or Google Maps, see how big the house is, go on Zillow, see how many square feet it is, those different ways to figure out how big a house is. Then what we will do is we will give them an estimate. So if it's a roof clean, we're going to give them an estimate for the roof clean. Then we're going to give them that's going to be package A. Package B is going to be for the house wash, and package C is going to be for the package C will be for window cleaning, exterior window cleaning, deck cleaning, anything like that. Whatever, concrete cleaning up to a certain amount of thing. Just remember, whenever you're giving your packages, make sure you're doing stuff that you want to do. When I started out packages, we only upcharged $100 for a driveway. Well, a driveway will take you an hour. So I just lost my butt of making $200 an hour down to $100 an hour because I didn't upcharge enough. And I don't like doing concrete. I can do another house wash for $300, $400 versus doing concrete. So I'd much rather do a house wash. It's a lot easier to spray water this way than running a stupid surface cleaner back and forth, worrying about stripes, all the different things of how it is going. Invasion HD, how's it going? It's going great. Lady Plants, how's it going? So with that being said, so that's our estimate. We're going to give a package out. Now we use Responsibid. This is one thing that we do use Responsibid. And the reason why we use Responsibid for this is because it will give us the package options. Now, some of your CRMs will do this also. So if you don't have a CRM that will do this, you can do this in an estimate form. And when you do it in estimate form, what you will want to do is make sure you're given all three estimates. And here's the deal about it. Once you get kind of, your estimates are going to come in. So once you get it done once, you can save that file and then just keep doing it again and again and again. And so Responsibid works really good for giving out packages, and it breaks it down real pretty, makes it real nice, makes everything look really good. If you don't do Responsibid, like I say, you can do it other ways and make it happen. So the great thing about Responsibid is once we send that first email out, then it's going to follow up with a series of emails. This is very important for us to be able to close these customers and turn leads into customers. And that's the whole point of what we're trying to do is turn leads into customers. Leads only do us so good, but it doesn't pay the bills. We got to turn those leads into customers. And when we turn them leads into customers, then that's when we make money. That's when we can go do stuff. That's how we can grow a business. That's how we can scale a business. And that's how we can become successful and be able to quit your 9-to-5 job and to do pressure washing full time. So with that, that's how we get the up to the proposal or the estimate. All right. So if you don't have Responsibid, I understand Responsibid's $175 or $150, I believe it is, for the best package. So with that being said, I understand that it does that, but it will pay itself back off in the long run. All it's got to do is turn one customer that you didn't have into a customer, and you just paid for the Responsibid. And if you're willing to pay, or if you're putting a lot of time into getting leads and you're not turning leads into jobs, Responsibid is a great way to help to do that. Responsibid will help you also be able to keep that also going down the road. I'll show you some other things it can do. Is responsive bid only worth if you have good SEO? That's negative. Responsive bid is only good if you can get leads. SEO is not the best way to get leads always. It can be one way, but if you got signs out, if you're doing AdWords, if you're doing Facebook, anything that we're trying to turn leads into customers. And the great thing about it is you can set up your email sequences. And what we always do is once we send out our email or our proposal for the first time, if it's today, tomorrow, responsive bid will send us a call. Now, you can do this by yourself and put it in the calendar of, hey, call all the customers from yesterday that came in. So the very next day, you want to call your customer. And what you're doing is you're going to find out, what we found out is only 30% only 70% of those emails went out, and only 70% got open. 30% didn't. So 3 out of 10 emails never got opened. And it can be anything from you misspelling the email address. It can be anything from they didn't open it because it went in their spam box and they didn't know it. They didn't open it because they didn't know it was from you. So it's always good to say that, hey, whatever it's going to say, hey, it's going to come from pressurewashhelp.com or pressurewashhelp, and it will be your proposal, so that way you will be able to get that job email. So once that email is out there, the next thing is we want to contact these people in that first 14 to 21 days, anywhere from 7 to 11 times. By the 30 day out, we're contacting them again, because what we found in in marketing is anybody that knows marketing, it takes 5 to 7, or actually it's like 7 to 9 touches for you to get a lead from a customer. So so for somebody to buy, it takes 7 to 9 times that you touch them. And them touches can be emails, phone calls, text, another Facebook ad, another yard sign, anything that can get people to see you and touch it. That one touch will make a big difference. So with that being said, we want to make sure that we're getting those touches on there. All right. So once they decide to buy from us, once that email sequence and that email sequence that right there, and I don't have it in my packages yet, in my Christmas site training stuff yet. It's coming. I'm still trying to get stuff put in and make it look good and do it. I will have a whole email series of what should be for when it's a pending job, when it's a closed job, when it's the whole thing. I'm going to put a whole email sequence in the course down there. So with that, so that's just once they came in and it's an open lead. Once they decide to buy from us, then we send them some more emails. Then we're going to say, hey, the day before we're coming, we're going to send them an email. And when we send them an email, we're going to say, hey, here's your email. We're coming tomorrow and we're going to wash your house. Make sure you have everything off your deck. Make sure you have a good water source. Make sure you have all your windows closed, that you don't have, that kind of stuff. Make sure your dog's not in the backyard and I come around the back door and the dog comes running at me. I've had that happen. I was halfway into the yard and I'm like, I was done at that point. I couldn't outrun the dogs. I was just hoping they were nice and friendly, and they was, because there was 3 or 4 of them. I'm like, if you're mean and that, I'm not going to be in very good shape. So that email is going to go out and say, those types of things of, make sure, that's kind of, make sure everything's off your deck. We're not going to move stuff off your deck. Make sure everything's at least 15 feet away from your house. We're not going to move grills, that kind of stuff. And reason why we don't move grills can be very expensive and they can fall apart on you in a heartbeat. I had one and it was just like a bomb might as well went off, because it was just like, boom. I'm like, luckily they knew it was a piece of crap, and that, that there. Okay, so when we get done with that email series there of the pending, then we go do the job. When we go do the job, now there's a couple different things we can do here with the question here of payment. we have made them pay up front a percentage, 25%. And we do it so that way when they get on the books, they're less likely to cancel and not do it. I've known some people that have made them pay the full thing before they went out, or they go, that's kind of risky, and a lot of people might not like doing that. I've also now with Christmas lights, we make them pay 50% upfront before we will schedule them to put them on the schedule. And so the good thing about doing pre-schedule and getting their credit card information, and especially if you got a CRM that will hold that information. I think House Call Pro will. I don't know if Customer Factor will, but if you got a CRM that will hold their credit card information, what's nice about that is when we go from when we get that payment up front or that credit card information up front. So what we do now is we just get their credit card information before we go do the job. And then that way, the next day, we give them 1 day to give us a complaint. The next day, we can hit that credit card. And so with that, and there's different credit card stuff out there you can use, Stripe, all different types of credit, PayPal. I don't really like PayPal. They like to hold your money. Once you get so much money, they'll be like, we're going to hold it for you for 30 days and we're not going to give you your money. And you're like, bull crap, I want my money. So that's why we went to Stripe. You can use your bank, sometimes your bank. And it's all, it's 3%, whatever, 2%, some change. What we figured out is you just charge that 3% to make that money back up. And it's a lot easier trying to get money there versus chasing customers down and never getting paid. And we don't want to work for free. If this makes sense to you and it makes sense, give me a like, please. Because I don't like that 0 at the top of my page. Anyway, so that is how we can get payment. All right. So that's the payment information. And, a lot of times, if you're doing commercial work, that's a whole nother issue. Commercial work, you may have to wait. We would try to force it to be, collect in 10, 15 days because, you do a $5,000, $10,000 job and you're waiting 30 to 60 days. That's a lot of money that's, we paying our employees, paying all the chemicals, all the stuff and not get paid, for 30 to 60 days. That will take a heck of a liking out of your pocket. So from there, we still use ResponsiBid and we could close that job. So the next day it closed it. Then we knew to hit the credit card information. We would pay the credit card the next day after that. And then from there, what we do is we send some more emails out. We'll send emails out about on our close sequence of, hey, do you have any issues? If you have any issues, please hit this button. But if you think we did a 5-star review, hit this button and give us a 5-star review. And we'll send that email out 2 to 3 times after our service is done. And you can even send it where it will send a text, or you make sure you text that customer of, hey, I'm a small business. Please, if you would give me a text, or give me a Google review, 5-star review. I appreciate it very much. And that way, when you take that, and this will help your business grow and get your 5-star reviews. So that gets us from getting our payment up front, or getting the information up front, to getting the job, to the proposal, to getting payment, to doing that. Well, still not sold on again. Okay, I will get to questions, and that's fine. And I can scroll back a lot easier on the computer versus my phone. It was really hard for me to read questions. So once I'm done here, I will come down through here and read questions. But I wanted to answer this question. So the great thing about ResponsiBid and I think you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/ Responsibid. I'll see it's in some of my links. You'll buy me and my kids a cup of coffee. My kids don't drink coffee, but and that way you can sign up there. No, not Bobby Walker's link. You can sign up on my link, and it's the same thing. And I will get that link to you. I'm pretty sure it's pressurewashhelp.com/responsibid. And like I say, it will give me a nice it'll give me some stuff so I can go play soccer again like my kids did this weekend in Nashville. I don't know if anybody's from Nashville. Where's everybody from at tonight in this live? So with that, we get our payment, and that's how we can get our payment, and then we can go on. All right. Oh, Supreme Wash, you're in Nashville, huh? I was just in Nashville. We were in Franklin. We played up in Tennessee FC area, or the Tennessee on the east side of there. I love Nashville. I love going to Nashville. Nashville is a lot of fun. That Benjamin, where are you at in Ohio? Are you the north part, or are you around the southern part? In Pensacola, Florida, I love Florida. I don't know if I'd want to do business down there because there's a lot of people doing business down there. All right, so let me come over here, and I'm going to scroll back up here real quick, and that way I can get some questions here. That was good. I just signed up for Responsibid. I already love it. It will take you some time to get it set up properly. I know they give you some base emails to send out, but tweak them. You know, one of our emails on like day 14 actually says, I know you're still looking for bids and nobody's going to call you back at this point. So schedule down below. So you got to tweak them. Sometimes you might need to be a little bit tough on that. Is Responsibid only worth if you have good SEO? It's not so much SEO like I talked about earlier. It's more about having a good, if you can get leads. It's all about getting leads in the end, you know, and SEO is only one way to get leads. And here's my opinion on SEO. SEO can be good, but SEO can be snake oil. And what I mean by snake oil is, you know, I can sell you something, a whole lot of crap, and and again, I'm going to tell you what they're going to say. It's going to take you 6 months to a year to be able to get good SEO. And I'm going to take your money for 6 months to a year or two, and I'm not going to give you crap. And how are you going to be able to know that I did? You don't. Unless they can lay it out what they're going to do, and you know how to be able to check what they do. SEO can be a line of crap. And there's different things with SEO. All right. James Brown asks, but it has a 2-1, so if you don't get 2 times the $169, you call them and they don't charge you for that month. So they guarantee you that you're going to make $300 off their system. And I about guarantee that you will make that if you're sending it to them. What CRM you're using? House Call Pro. Again, if there's a link down below, actually it's not down in this video, but on some of my other videos, I believe it's pressurewashhelp.com/House Call Pro, but I'm not married to it. You know, you can use Customer Factor. It's a lot cheaper, but it's kind of clunky. It don't have a pretty interface, and that's the only thing with how Customer Factor. It's $30 a month. There's Jobber, there's Service Monster, all different types of CRMs, and not one CRM is good that better than the other, and you kind of got to fit. There's really not one great CRM for the pressure washing industry. It's kind of one of those things that everybody's kind of trying to poke at it, but nobody's really knocking it out of the ball. Nobody is a Responsibid. In fact, with Responsibid and as much stuff as they've done, we ran our business off of Responsibid and Google Calendar. And you can, you know, honestly, with Responsibid, yes, it's not a CRM of sending out an invoice, but you can send out an invoice real easy, and that will make that easy. Let's see. James Brown asks, I just started using the Cash App in Vimeo. It's free. You don't request a payment. The only issue with going with the free stuff with Vimeo and that, or PayPal, sometimes if they have an issue, they can not get that issue taken care of because of that. I know you're trying to skate around it, but it's just kind of one of those things of, you're in business, and it's best to do the things the most legal and ethical way to do things instead of trying to skate around it. All right, so here we coming in some dream chasing. Should you cut 50-50 when using a homemade XJet? I'm trying to pull close to 3% SH from 12.5% SH. I don't know what you're talking about, a homemade XJet, unless you're talking about one of like a downstream injector that is botched up. But if you're trying to close 3% SH, really the only way, if you use you can, if a lot of times you're going to have to lower your RPMs and that kind of stuff, because the RPMs actually make the PSI higher, so it won't draw it as much. The lower it is, the lower G. If you actually look at the XJet thing on the XJet, it'll tell you how much it will pull at what GPM, and it's more about the GPM of flowing through it versus it is the pressure in the gallons per minute. It's all about the GPMs going through it. So if you can get down like 2 GPM, it'll pull almost 4 or 5%. But you get up to 8%, it's only pulling like 2%. So you kind of got to see how many GPMs is running through that XJet to see how much your thing is. JS Power Wash, Jason, still not sold on 8 gallon. Our 5.5 does a good job, and they are few low flow homes. Am I wrong, Joe? You're not wrong, man. If you can get them, I mean, I know companies that use 5 gallon a minute just so that they don't use so much water. You know, if you're running into a lot of low flow, you know, you're going to get a little bit, it's going to rinse a little bit faster and a little bit. But my little my 5.5, 2,500 PSI that I've kind of done a lot of videos on, you know, I'm not going to be much slower than an 8 gallon a minute. And a lot of it comes down to technique and knowing how to clean. And, you know, like you say, if you're in an area of a lot of low flow, you're actually going to clean a lot better and a lot faster than an 8 gallon, because it's going to suck it all out, and then they're not going to be able to do nothing. So I do like that 5.5 gallon minute. That 5.5 gallon minute is, and it's it's the next step up above the 4 gallon, because the 4 gallon and the 5.5, there is a big difference in between those two. And there's a big difference between the 5.5 and the 8, but you almost get to the point of, do you have the water source for every place to be able to keep up with it? And if you keep running out of water, it's going to burn the pump up, and then you kind of go down that road. Let's see. All right, service business tips for you. Is it true if you get 100 Google reviews, you will show in more areas? No. Just because you get and now Google reviews is kind of it will help you show up maybe in a larger area, but Google reviews is all about, it's not just about Google reviews. Google reviews is only one thing of like 20 factors that factor into Google My Business. And that's just one of them. And that's like one of the top 4 or 5. So the factor, a couple factors are your location. So if you have a location that is in a great, close to a great, like for instance, we had a shop in the north side of Cincinnati, and it was perfect. It was right in the middle of all the rich people. We had Montgomery here, we had Indian Hill here, and Indian Hill is like number 9 in the nation. At one time, it was number 9 of the richest communities in the country. So it's got, like, when you talk about stupid money, it's down here in Indian Hill. So we had Montgomery, Indian Hill, and basically our shop was right in the middle of them. So that is one factor of Google My Business is that the Google My Business is that that is one factor of location. Another factor is obviously your reviews. And when you're asking for these reviews, you kind of want them to be keyword rich. And what I mean by that, you're going to say, ma'am, and you kind of got to be, I don't know how to put it, when you give me a review, will you please, say that the service that we offered or something like that. So that way, if it says house washing, Joe came and washed my house and it looks great. That will help bring up some factors for that review. If you're looking like at some of the snippets in the maps, you'll see some of these reviews that have keyword rich, and that's what it is. And that's how you got that there. The other factors are your pictures, and your pictures are kind of how you get your stuff to show up in more areas, because Google really don't know. Actually, I shouldn't take that back, because if you get a review, it's going to come from Google and it's going to know where you're at. So it's kind of going to give you a service area too. The other thing that we can help to tell Google is the fact that we're uploading our pictures. Now, 100 pictures will help you, but those pictures need to be named the right JPEG, and we can name it, pressure wash city, pressure wash zip code, all that kind of stuff. Vinyl siding cleaning, roof cleaning, Christmas lights, whatever we do, we need to make sure that we're putting them keyword rich in there. And when we do that, that will help us do that. So we got the Google reviews, we got the pictures, citations. And what a citation is basically a way to be able to, it's on the internet, that's our name, address, phone number, our NAP, and we're going to put that in different directories and all that kind of stuff. And that's going to link us to our stuff and be able to point it to where we are. All right, so now here I got to, all right, so let me come back here. I've got a bunch more questions. We got some, so I see somebody, Aiden is in Cincinnati, Ohio. Awesome. It's very close here. Benjamin is in Ohio. Power Clean in Zanesville. Actually, I'll be going up to Michigan this weekend. It's my wedding anniversary, and we've been married 13 years. So we're heading to Michigan. We're going up to the big Christmas light store in Michigan. All right. So another question is, when cleaning siding for fence that oxidize, should I use half a 50-50, 12.5% mix and the other half water and some eliminator to clean it? Then what do I use for the oxidation removal? Invasion HD, are you talking about a wood fence or a vinyl fence? The vinyl fence. If I can get that, then that way I'll know for sure. It seems like a lot of people call me rather than email me through my website. I don't see how beneficial it would be for us. And that is the case. A lot of people call us through our Adwords and that kind of stuff, but we still email out them the quotes. We email them out all kinds of information. And even then, some people don't want to be bothered. There's people out there that don't ever want to talk to you on this phone and don't ever want to deal with you. They would rather just text you and talk to you that way or through email. And now there is some people that want to do this, especially if you're in like an older generation type area or stuff like that, that might be the cause. Vinyl fence or siding. Okay, so you're asking, when cleaning a fence that oxidized, should I use half and half, 50, and should the other water some eliminator to clean it? Now, are you downstreaming? If you're downstreaming, that is fine. And then And what to do for the oxidation removal. The oxidation removal is that's kind of a one of those things that you have to do to you are going to have to use a chemical. Rather you can use stuff like that Cleansol BC is supposed to be Robin Wash, Mr. Wash. I've never used it personally, and he said basically you can downstream it and it will remove that and it makes it look brand new. There's other chemicals you can use, gutter butter, F13, that kind of stuff. But most of that kind of stuff you're going to have to brush. I think the Cleansol BC you don't have to brush, but that's a high dollar service. Don't be doing that stuff, in your regular house wash. Because that Cleansol BC, I believe, is like $40 a gallon. So that's why I haven't actually done a video on it, because I've been too tight to pay $40 a gallon to see if it works. I probably should, but that's kind of what that is. But that 50/50, 12.5, if you're using let's see if you tell me what you're using. Okay, so if you're downstreaming 50/50 is fine. Now that we're getting a little colder, you can actually bump up a little. You might have to bump up a little bit more, just because of that. Right now the temperature here is a high of 70, and that's right at 3 o'clock today. And this week is going to be down in the 50s. So when it starts getting colder, your sodium hypochlorite don't work as well. It takes longer for it to dwell on there to be able to work. So you either got to go stronger or use hot warm water or something like that to make that chemical work. All righty then. How many customers would you, let me see, wait a minute, let me come up here. I don't want to miss nobody answers. It seems like a lot of people call, okay, yep, I did that one. Word of mouth is awesome too. Word of mouth is a good way to do it. You can do networking. Go to BNI groups, go to meetup.com. Meetup.com will have business groups, and you can go in there and do business meetups and that kind of stuff. I thought you sold your pressure washing business. I did sell my pressure washing business, but I still do all the marketing for it. I go up there twice a month. They pay me really well. They pay me stupid money to go up there, and so I still go up there and I do all the marketing. And the thing I love about the marketing is in 2018 when we sold the business, in 2017, we hit the $1 million. In 2019, it kind of went down a little bit just because everything was kind of crazy. In August, we were trying to suck as much money as we could before we sold it, and we didn't care if it got booked out after the fact. Normally, in Christmas lights, we start sending Christmas cards out in July. We didn't do that. And so we really didn't start getting our Christmas light customers return until the last week of September last year. So that was another issue. So all that kind of stuff. Now, this year, 2019, it's going to be over $1 million. And I know a lot of people out here that have sold business and they like that. Once they leave as the head, they go down. And they can have all the systems in the world, but they go back down to nothing. So that's what I love about being able to market and be able to help make sure this business keeps growing. Is it still my baby? It's their baby, but it's still my baby in heart. So I do stick around for it. How many customers would you sign up before jumping into the Christmas light business? The best upfront cost are 100,000 foot stringers, but I can get also 100 foot stringers from Holiday Lighting Outlet. How many customers would sign up before jumping in Christmas lights? Depends on how much you want to market. I mean, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of stupid money in Christmas lights, and there is a ton of money. And if you work it, I know people that's all they do. They do nothing the rest of the year. They do Christmas lights, and that's all they do. There's a lot of money in Christmas lights. So it kind of depends on where you are, that kind of stuff. If you sign up into my class, I give a great distributor, probably one of the best distributors you will find, the cheapest that you will find, and everything like that. And how to bid it, how to quote it, the right way to do it, and not lose money, because it's all about not losing money. If you're going to go into business, to lose money, you can go to McDonald's and work for $10, $15 an hour. There's people in the Christmas light industry that'd be like, you can do Christmas lights for $4 to $6 a foot. If you want to stay in business, have employees, do it correctly, have workers' comp, all this stuff, and make a profit, you cannot do it between $4 and $6. You're going to have to be between $6 and $10 is where you really need to be at. And guess what? Not everybody's your customer. Not everybody's going to sign up. Not everybody, our close rate is like anywhere from 15 to 20%, depending on what time of the year it is. In October, it's actually lower because it's not urgent yet. So, with that being said, you can't, you got to be able to take a lot of no's to get a couple yeses. I've had no issue with these apps. Injectors on downstream. Okay, that was okay. Blue collar entrepreneur. What are your thoughts on Google AdWords versus Facebook? This is a great question. So, how we grew our business was not through Facebook. In fact, we had several, and you might hear people selling on the other side of this crap that saying that Facebook works. It does. I mean, it does. And don't get me wrong. I know Rob Anderson, he spends a lot of time on Facebook, but he makes a lot of his money through Facebook. And basically, it's one of two things. You're either going to spend time or money. You're either going to, there's two ways you get customers. You either do a lot of this or open your wallet. That's it. You're either going to do a lot of work yourself and time and that kind of stuff, or you're going to open your wallet. And when you open your wallet, you don't know. So Facebook versus AdWords. We grew our business in AdWords. We spent $30,000 to $40,000 a year trying to get Facebook, and we basically broke even with Facebook. Now, can we use Facebook to retarget people? That's where we finally figured out how to do Facebook ads. Basically, if they came to our website and they didn't buy, if they came to our Facebook ad, if they came to our Google AdWords landing page, and they didn't buy there because they didn't go to our thank you page, and if they didn't make it to our thank you page, now we can send them a Facebook ad to retarget these people, and that's how we use Facebook. Just on an open, taking it and doing it, we never had luck. Now, I know there's people that have, and I'm not disagreeing. I also know people that sell Facebook ads, and they spent like $20,000 or $25,000, and then they admitted they only made like $50,000 or $60,000, and I'm like, and you're telling people to do it, So that's kind of why I don't have much luck in Facebook. Google ads, I have a whole lot of luck. And in fact, if you want me to run your Google ads, if you're doing it for pressure washing, it's $2.99 a month that I manage it. If it's for Christmas lights, it's a one-time fee of $5.40, I believe it is $5.49. I think I put it at, and that's me running it, putting all my ads up for you, putting all my negative keywords in, everything to run a good Facebook or a Google ad thing. And I believe that is the Christmas light one is christmaslightshelp.com/Google ads. I believe will take you to it. All righty. Buy or make a blend module or get the proportioner. Do you use either of these blend modules? So on the blend module, I actually have a on how to build it, a video and everything. I believe you could go to pressurewashhelp.com/build list. I believe it's under that one. And that's all one word, no dash in between, build list. And it will tell you everything you need, all the parts on Amazon that you can just click it real easy. And all the parts there that you need for it on Amazon, and it will be able to get you the thing. Now, I am kind of new to the blend modules. And here is some issues. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I love that you can run a if you need a little bit more bleach, turn it up, and there you got more bleach. Need a little less, turn it down, less bleach. Now, the proportioner, it uses different valves. If you want those different valves, they're $100 a piece. So if you get 3 of those, that's $300 just for the valves. The issues that I have with them is with any time we deal with plastic and anytime we deal with hoses and that kind of stuff with the suction of a 12 volt or any other pump. If it gets one little air leak in it, you're screwed. So that's kind of what you got to watch out for. You do house washing, roof cleaning, everything with that? Absolutely. Can you do concrete? Well, you can nuke it and it'll come up sometimes, but you're really going to need a pressure washer for that. But there's a lot you can do with just a 12 volt or even, a proportioner. So the proportioner, I mean, it's a great thing they made. And like I say, all it takes is one crack. Now I've had mine in my trailer for since I built it this spring, but not now. I'm not using it every day, every week. I don't use it. It sits in my driveway, and I use it for a couple times a month for training, and that's it. And I love it for that. It works great. But I'm not going to be 100%. Like I said, all it takes is a valve to get cracked, comes unloose, anything like that, that valve is done. All right, that's off my soapbox on that one. Service business, 8 gallon is for concrete work mainly. That's when you notice a big difference. And that is true, because then you can use the 4-tip surface cleaner and that will really speed it up. But now that being said, there's some guys in PA that I met when I taught a class up there. They don't use 4 gallon a minute, or they don't use 8 gallon a minute for the commercial. They do a commercial type flat work, and they only use the 5. And the reason why is so they don't use so much water. And it's about the water usage. But an 8 gallon a minute does work good on the surface cleaner. All righty. Let's see. I've been having a lot of bounces from my website, so I'm trying this. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we connecting. Uh-oh, I hope I ain't losing everybody. 45 degrees last Friday. I will most likely be downstreaming. Okay. All right. So I think I'm back down here to the bottom. People don't go on Facebook to look for pressure washing. And that's true. People don't go on Facebook. Facebook is a lot like your mailbox. What do I do at my mailbox? I grab it. I look through the garbage, throw all the crap in the garbage, get all the bills and checks, and I take them in. Facebook's the same way. They're scrolling. They're not thinking about, is my house dirty? They're not thinking that way. They're thinking, when they're thinking that I need my house washed, I'm outside mowing the grass. Wow, that looks dirty. I need to find me a pressure washer. And they're going to type in Google pressure washing. And guess what comes up first? The first 3 things are ads. So your very first 3 things are ads. So guess what? That's what you're going to come up with. 45 last Friday. Yeah, temperatures are starting to come down. And that being said, I'm kind of scruffy here. It's because I haven't been to the firehouse to do it. This is a great time if you offer gutter cleaning, exterior, well, not really exterior gutter cleaning, but interior gutter cleaning. The leaves are getting ready to start falling, and that's a great way to make opportunity to make more money. You can send an email out to your email list. You can do, make signs. I did great with signs, gutter cleaning. Talking about that, if you'd like me to help you design a sign, go to pressurewashhelp.com/signs. I am getting them out. I haven't gotten them all out yet. I've been gone the last 3 or 4 days in Nashville. So tomorrow I will be sending out your signs, that the ones that have sent them in for me to help them do their signs. Benjamin Baker. We used that exact video, built them, and they have been working perfectly ever since. Awesome. I'm glad I can help you out, Benjamin. How long should a pressure wash hose last? I use 1 wire, and I've been using them for about 2 years, but now I'm having a lot of hole splits. So, pressure wash hoses. It seems like your very first ones last forever, and then it seems like they go from there on down. That's just the way it is. I don't understand it, but I know what you mean. It'll seem like one set will last forever, and another one you're changing them out as fast as we're putting them in. With that being said, I've used one wire, two wire. So what's the difference between R1 and R2? R1 is one wire, which means there's one set of wires going through it. R2 is two. R1 is only usually rated for about 4,000 PSI. R2 is usually rated for anywhere from about 5,500 to 6,000 PSI. There is a huge difference in weight. You pull two line hose all day long, you will know it. And R1, it makes it real nice, real easy, and it's real easy to pull it around the house and do it. R2 is heavy. I like R1. If you're not using hot water and you keep your pressure regulator down out of that 4,000 range, you can get away with R1. R2, just because you're using R2 doesn't mean it's going to last longer than R1. R2 will go just as fast as R1 will. So R1 and R2 are kind of in that point of, that kind of stuff. R2 it's heavy, it's bulkier. It probably weighs, I would bet, 10 pounds heavier in a roll versus R1. So I like R1, but R2, and you can get the good United States of America or the Chinese hose. They both going to blow on you. I've bought hose from everywhere, and there's not one hose that I'm like, this is the best stuff ever. Never once. So that's kind of there. All right. What was your cost per acquisition on Google Ads? So on pressure washing, it's roughly probably around $50 $50 $50 to $60 on Christmas lights. It can be anywhere from $100 to $200 per customer, and that's another reason why you don't charge $4 to $6 because you can't pay for you can't get customers. Now with Christmas lights, the great thing about Christmas lights is that there is a 80% chance that they will be back next year. And then you don't have to pay credit. So the lifelong value of a Christmas light customer versus a pressure washing customer, a Christmas light customer is probably $10,000 to $20,000. A lifetime customer of a pressure washer is probably $2,000, $2,000 to $4,000. So there's a big difference in that. Do I have any more questions? I don't see any more questions. But if you do have questions, you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/askjason, and you can ask them there. I will be bringing out a bunch of that. Do you ever explore with window cleaning? That's a great question, Blue Collar. Window cleaning. We only did when before I sold the business, I only did exterior window cleaning. And if you're a pressure washing company, I would highly, highly suggest to do exterior window cleaning. This will help raise your ticket from a $300 house wash to a $400 to $500 house wash. So this is a great package to be able to get us up a little bit higher. Now, with that, interior window cleaning, when we sold the business, the company that bought the business, they do interior window cleaning. And they do it, and they kind of quit really pushing it real hard because they get a lot of callbacks. Because I'm the type of person that a window cleaner is usually artistic, and it's an artist to be able to clean these windows and to be able to do them right. We got probably one guy, maybe 2 out of 8 that can clean windows good and don't get callbacks. And he's just good at what he does. He picked it up, and he's great at house washing. This dude, you can give him 5 jobs and he'll be back at 2:00 every day, 1 to 2:00. No matter how much you give him a workload, he'll be back 1 to 2:00 every day, and he gets hardly any callbacks. He's a great employee, and he just knows how to do his stuff. So that is kind of the window cleaning. But exterior window cleaning, you can do it with a water-fed pole system. I have on some of my videos a link down to one on Amazon. Basically, all we need is a pole to be able to hit 3 stories. You don't need no freaking $1,000, $2,000 setups, $3,000 setups. you can get a DI tank and the hose and the water fed pole for less than $1,000, and you will make that back in no time. And that is a great upsell. You will take that ticket of a $200-300 house wash to a $300 to $400 house wash now, and it's a great upsell. All right, one more question here. Did you ever do rock flyers? It seems to be the new trend. Do you think that putting a postcard in the kids' Halloween candy bag would get some leads? I think rock flyers are retarded, my personal opinion. I don't want garbage in my yard, and why am I going to put garbage in other people's yards? In fact, if people did it to me, I will take the time and go give you a bad Google review. And I've known it's coming around here, and I know people say, "Whoa, be professional." If you want to do that, go buy a postcard and put it in their mailbox. That's what I'm going to tell you about rock flyers. I mean, and I know there's people out there that teach the rock flyers and all that crap, but I think that I've seen it done in really nice neighborhoods, and it looks like crap. It's littering, and I think that you should get fined for it, to be honest. And it's kind of like, do I think yard signs can be littering too? Absolutely. But it's not in everybody's driveway. And that's what it was blowing across, and it looks like crap. And then it rains, and it's all like, so that's my take on rock flyers. That's just my personal take. If you're going to be tight, don't, put out, it's one of those things that you're throwing garbage in people's driveway. It's one thing in the mailbox, it's another thing in the yard. And this neighborhood I went to, it was, the $500,000 to $750,000, and it was a painter, and the painter's car looked like a piece of crap. Looked like somebody was going to steal your kids, and they're throwing this crap out. I'm like, really? You don't look professional doing it, and it doesn't look professional in the yard. All right, that's off my little soapbox on that. Now, the Halloween candy, if you got a lot of kids, don't be cheap and give them a little big box and say, here's this big business card. The parents, if you're in a nice neighborhood, it might not hurt. If you get a lot of kids, heck, why not put a business card in there? Put it on the biggest piece of candy you can get. That way they're like, man, this guy, he's doing good. All right. All right. Thaddy. What proportioner X-Jet should I use using 12.5 on vinyl fence when it looks 50 degrees outside? All the proportioners in the X-Jet, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I don't know a lot about the X-Jet. I would probably be around that 1.5%, probably about 1% mix. If it's vinyl, you can get up to about 1% mix and be fine. But what tip is that? I don't know. I know my X-Jet, I threw all the little tips away, and basically all I have is the X-Jet. And I only use it for like stucco, stuff, a chimney, stuff like that. I'm a downstreamer. Especially when I got employees, is the last thing I want them to do is carrying a 5-gallon bucket of bleach in their yard and dumping it in the middle. That's I know how employees are, and that's why I never did. That's why downstream. Everything's at the street. Nothing's if it leaks, it's on the street, and I'm not worried about it. Have I had bleach leak on the street? Absolutely, and I didn't have to worry about it. Let's see. Service business tips for you. At the $1 million mark, how many trucks did you have on the road? How many houses can a truck usually do in a day? So with that, we have 4 trucks, but to be honest, even this year, it's really been 3 full-time trucks. That 4th truck is it's not 100% occupied. Depending on your area, we go an hour north, an hour south, basically an hour circle of where our shop is. That's a big area. So with that being said, we try to book we try to book 3 jobs a day. We try to shoot for about $1,200 to $1,500 a day per truck. Now that we went to, so when I ran the business, I was at 3 jobs per day with one guy. Now they have 2 guys, and now their goal is 1,500. So most of the time they're doing 4 jobs a day per truck. And so that's where they can get that $1,500 a day per average per truck. And that way you will be able to grow that business. But you really, 3 trucks, you could probably get to $1 million. It's going to be kind of tight. You're going to have to, unless you can pressure wash all year long, you're going to have to come up with, we didn't do $1 million just with, Christmas lights is going to be, last year was 300,000. This year is going to be 400,000 to 500,000 of our $1 million. So our Christmas lights is probably going to make just as much as our pressure washing did this year. So that's what I'm saying. Christmas lights can be very, very profitable. And you want to guess what else? If you go in, check out my membership, pressurewashhelp.com/training. There's a link down below. I teach you both and how to do them. Sorry. I added, what website did you find Cleanse All B-Sol oxidation remover? It is EcoChem. EcoChem is the website that sells the that stuff. EcoChem, ECACO Chem. It sells it. I added exterior window cleaning, rinsing after watching your video. Now almost every customer gets that extra service, and you can charge for it. It's a great service. People, because here's the thing. What I always tell people is, will the windows be clean? Yes. Will it be spot free? Absolutely not. You will be able to wipe your finger on that window, and you won't get no dirt off that window, but it will leave spots. And when we use that DI tank and it in that pure in where it deionize that water, it will make them windows be spot free. Now, will it make the spots on the inside go away? No. So if you get callbacks, a lot of times them callbacks. Now, if our DI tank, there's a little tester. There's a little tester that you test the water, and if it gets up into like if it was below 20, I was fine. If it starts getting above 20 parts per million, you'll start getting spots and you will get callbacks. My 16 and 14-year-old want to use pressure washing, primary flat work, and fence to buy their vehicles. Watching all your stuff. Thanks for all you do. Hey, SC Pro, they can make a lot of money doing this stuff. If they like to hustle a little bit and do some hard work, which most teenagers don't, they can drive a Mercedes if they wanted to for their first car. And that's not no joke. Especially kids trying to sell stuff, people will eat that stuff up left and right of, hey, I'm a young man, I'm trying to do that. Now, will you get the people of, well, he's just a kid? Yeah, but most people know hard work. And if they do good work and get their good reviews and market themselves, and you can get on Facebook and they can post pictures on Instagram and post and that kind of stuff, you will be able to blow it up. Is SynGem worth it? We used it. I'm not going to knock it one way or the other. We don't use it anymore. It's like anything. Not one way is not the right way for everybody. One way will work for a lot of different people, but not one way will work. I know people, we spent $20,000-$30,000 a year on stupid EDDM, and we make our money back, whatever, but it wasn't like we're making a killing. But I know a person, he spent a boatload on it, and that was their only marketing was EDDM. And that's how they made money. Facebook ads. We spent a boatload of money on that, didn't make our money back. Rob Anderson makes a boatload off of it and doesn't do Google Adwords. We spend Google Adwords. There's more ways to skin a cat than one. You kind of got to find that niche, and when you find that right nail that works for you, you just keep driving that baby home, and it'll just keep making you money. Keep making you money, and do it good. What was your favorite setup over the years? Flatbed versus box truck, slide-in pickup, trailer? Definitely not a trailer. I hate pulling trailers. I hate getting in driveways and trailers. I honestly, I had a utility bed. That wasn't the best thing. Either a flatbed or a box truck. I never had a box truck, and the only reason why I would want a box truck for is two reasons. Is because where we live at is kind of cold, and that way it protects all our equipment. It protects it from the rain, protects it from that, especially if you don't have a shop to be able to put your machine in. So with that being said, if I had a shop, then that would, we have a shop, so then that's where that would go at. The flatbed, I really like the flatbed because it's easy to get everything off. It's easy to start the machine. If you have a problem with the machine, it's right there. You're not trying to get up in a truck and, be, all that kind of stuff. So the flatbed, I really like the flatbed. The skid units in the back of a pickup, it's kind of limiting and it's kind of tight. So if you have issues, then you're trying to fight the bear of being where you're all real close. So it's kind of a catch-22, and it depends on budget. Budget. If you have a pickup and you can put a slide in it. Do it that way. Christmas lights sounds great. Dang, I'm terrified of ladders. I'll tell you a story about that. So when I first started pressure washing, I am a fireman. I've climbed ladders, but the homeowner ladders or the construction ladders and a fireman ladder are two different things. I was scared to death of ladders when I first started. I mean, I would climb them and that kind of stuff, and I would do them, but I didn't like them. Now I can work off of them, hands off to the side, the whole 9 yards. So it did take me some getting used to. I wasn't the best at ladders when I first gutter cleaning. Because when I first started, pressure washing off in the house, gutter cleaning, you're getting that stupid thing, and then you're getting on them little bit of a hill, and you're getting some rocks and sticking underneath of it. Not that you're supposed to do that, but I mean, I've done it. Now you're supposed to get the extended leg, make sure you're flat, surface, that kind of stuff. And I didn't like the ladders, so I'm right with you on that. Now I'm good on ladders. Now the 40-foot, it makes me the pucker factor come in a little bit. I don't really care for the 40. We got a 48. I didn't climb that sucker. I let the employee climb that one. I'm like, here you go. All right. James Brown asked, my bid on two sides of a house with windows rents was $449. A bucket Bob came in and bid the whole house deck for $360. I just laughed and said, no way. Again, not everybody's your customer. I will preach this till I'm blue in my face. People think that, that I lost that job. Nope, you probably didn't want that customer in the first place. And when they damage something or do something, and here's the thing, Bucket Bob ain't going to be there next year when they want their stuff done again. Bucket Bob is going to be gone because he couldn't afford to stay in there. And at that price, he's probably making about $10 an hour. So, Bucket Bob, unless Bucket Bob is wanting to make money for illegal stuff like drugs and stuff, that's fine. And I mean, I don't care if you do that kind of stuff or not. But 300, what do you say, 360? Yeah, good luck on that. Bye-bye. That's not your customer. And that's one way to go with it. S3 Pro, hey, clean the senior citizen center for free and leave cards inside. The 60-plus folks take care of their stuff. We've also contacted real estate agents when we see a house for sale and dirty. I wouldn't do that stuff for free. That's one place that I did use Send Jim quite a bit. I would get on, or you can even use the mail, whatnot kind of stuff. Get onto when you see new listings. Now, right now, and especially the greater Cincinnati area, that kind of stuff sells quick. When I first started, stuff wasn't selling and moving as much. So if stuff isn't moving, they're not going to, if stuff isn't moving, then they're going to try to sell it any which way they can because it's all about curb appeal. If it's moving off the market fast, then they don't care. So they just let it go and they know it's going to sell. But one place, even the senior citizen, I don't know if I'd be doing that free, but I'll tell you one place that I would do free, and I've seen a lot of people do this, and I think it's a great idea. Is the whole doing the playgrounds. Honestly, the playgrounds, I think because they have kids. And you got to remember who your market is. My market in this area is female that has, kids, that kind of stuff, stay-at-home moms, that kind of thing, that live in nicer neighborhoods. And if I can go clean their playground and get the PTA people to say, hey, look, they did this, and get the Facebook groups going. But you just can't, you got to really promote yourself, because I'm going to tell you another thing. For Christmas lights, how we get money for Christmas lights, by doing stuff for free. We have found out that usually every year there's somebody that's down in their luck. Whether one year was a police officer had died, was their dad. We went and did this house. They had a foundation. They were going to pay us. We ended up doing it for free. We ended up getting 4 customers from this one house that we did for free. 4 customers of Christmas lights. You know how many people, how many years we've been doing those 4 Christmas lights that have been paying us every year? All freaking 4 of them still get our Christmas lights. So we did that one job, got 4 Christmas light customers. It was right around probably about $3,500 to $4,000, and they've been doing it every year since we first started. So with that being said, it's worth to give stuff away. Last year, there was actually 2 years ago, there was a kid that he had passed early before Christmas, and he wanted a superhero. And they contacted us, and we're like, well, we don't have superhero, but we got some big Santa Claus blow-ups, and we got a snowman, which normally I don't sell blow-ups with that. But the one that we did the free house for, we had all those blow-ups still. So we put them all up on the church, and guess what? We got people to buy our stuff. Other people bought our stuff for doing that. So giving, here's a great thing you can do for pressure washing. Put a page on your landing page and give one vet's house. Try to get veterans. Hey, we support veterans, especially if you was a vet. Hey, we support vets. I'm going to give one house wash away a month of a veteran that's in need. People will buy from you because they know you're supporting other people in the community. All right. 40 is a no-go. I don't like the 40 either. It's one of them's called the Big Bull, and it's like, don't get the Big Bull. Don't mess with the Big Bull unless you have to. Do you charge a minimum amount just to do a job? Absolutely. It's like $279 is our cheapest amount, and we got to get that before we go out. Especially when you start getting employees, you can't make money if you're sending them out less than $300, $250, $300. And we still do one side of houses. We just, we charge $250 for one side or $300 for the whole house. You pick. A lot of times they'll go with the $250 because especially if they're selling the house, all they had to do was stop clean that one side. Well, I just say $50. How heavy is a 32-foot ladder? I'm getting a lot of new prospects that need 2.5, 3-story chimneys or higher. I'm thinking turning away a lot of business because of the ladder. Use your X-Jet up there. You don't need to get a ladder on them chimneys. I never get a ladder up on a chimney. I X-Jet the crap out of it, or I'll go use, actually, I don't even X-Jet it. I'll use my roof pump and spray some hot mix up there, and it'll peel it and clean it and move it on. If it's got rust on it, then maybe I've had to get up closer, but most of your chimneys, hit it with a strong mix and let it go. Just make sure that, you're wetting everything down, you're getting everything dry, that kind of stuff. Make sure nothing isn't going to die underneath of it. Ben Baker, we were worried about the work volume when we first started. Nope, we were totally wrong. It was the workers. We've hired 17 people. Unbelievable how few stayed. It's not about getting to work, man. It's about getting employees to work 100%. That's the hardest thing of this business. When I sold it, that was the reason. Employees suck. And I know I'm going to go down here's the thing. And a lot of people on here that follow me are, entrepreneurs, and they're really wanting to learn. And if you do this stuff, you will make money. But you just got to remember that nobody else out there really wanting to work. It's hard to get good employees that stick around. You know, our employees, we got a few that have finally, you know, that we weeded out, but I bet we went through 65, 70 employees the time that just they come and go. And it's tough, you know. They don't want to work. They don't want to show up. They don't want to do nothing. Employees will be the hardest thing. Now, with that being said, you know, can you do $250,000 a year in pressure washing and that kind of stuff by yourself? Absolutely, you can. Basically, when you start getting employees, that's when you start getting headaches. You start getting all the other stuff to come along with employees. Now, I know there's people out there that's going to teach you got this crap and blah, 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 and you're hiring the wrong people. Well, good luck on hiring the right people. You know, you probably ain't going to offer insurance. You're probably going to be, you know, I mean, you're not going to be paying high dollar. And even if you pay high dollar, we pay people $25 an hour, and they're like, I don't want to show up today. I don't need to show up. And you're like, well, don't show up at all then. Just stay home, you know, because obviously money ain't everything. Don't clean a real estate for free. Just contact them. Yeah. And realtors are the worst because they want everything for free, but yet they're going to charge 6% no matter what size the house it is. But they want you to do it for free. And that's like, I've called out realtors before of, I need a cheap person to do this. And I'm like, are you cheap? Well, no, I'm a professional. I'm like, well, then why are you wanting me to be cheap for? I tell you where the best places to get is your property managers. To get good commercial work, to get good high-paying jobs, it's your property managers, whether that is HOAs, condos, apartment associate. The Greater Cincinnati Apartment Association we've made buku loads of money. I bet $1 million just in the apartment association. The apartment association is huge. You will make a lot of money just in the apartment association. I heard today that a business can do a certain amount of work for cash and not declare it in your taxes. Is that true? The amount they stated for their state was $6,000. Did you ever hear this? I'm going to call BS on that. I would check with your CPA. Most of the time, it's only $600 that you don't have to claim, not $6,000. And when you're working for cash, most of these people aren't paying their taxes anyway. They're putting it in their gun safe and not claiming it in the first place. Keeping it clean, yes. Benjamin Baker, it's hard to make your employees see the same vision you do. It's awful. It's been the most difficult hurdle. And the honest thing is to be upfront with them. You know, I had one of my employees when we quit and they took over, and we kind of had a change in management. And when the change in management came, one of our guys was a guy on the truck. And this guy on the truck thought that we just made all kind of money and didn't do nothing in the office. So then he's great at sales. He does awesome at sales. So when he came into the office, he realized that everything goes involved in the office. And I make fun of him all the time of, good, you like them people calling and complaining to you. And you like trying to chase money. And he's like, that sucks. But he didn't know. And I think the biggest thing is, and I know you're not going to be able to show everything, but, you know, show them that, you know, yes, we're doing a $300 house wash, but, you know, there's a lot of bills. You know, this isn't profit for me. Your payment is not, you know, your $20 an hour, so, you know, $200, you know, $100 for labor doesn't come close to making profit in there. You know, there's a lot of things that go along in it. Now, is there a lot of profit involved in it? You can, absolutely, but you kind of got to find. And here's the thing: don't go out trying to find the person that thinks that they're going to be upper management and all this other BS, because you really need workers. You really need somebody that's going to come in and work. You know, they're probably not going to be the best salesman. This person's probably, I'm actually that type of person too. I'm a good worker, but I'm not a salesman, and I hate selling when I get there. We always upsold before. I always upsold before I got to the job, and the reason why I always upsold before I got to the job is because I hate upselling to them once I got there. And I didn't put that on. We don't, is there some people that are good at it? Absolutely. I had one guy, he could get reviews and upsells all day long, but he was good at that. This guy that I talked about putting it into the office, he could go out, sell stuff, all that kind of stuff, and make it work and do it and make it great. Three-man crew, keeping it clean. Three-man crew, $12 to $15 an hour, $1,000 per week. I don't understand because three with main crew, so you're $30 an hour, $25 to $30 an hour, $1,000 per week. We do two-man crews, and they make anywhere from about $15 to $20 an hour. Our lead guy makes about 20, and then the other guy makes about 15. Keeping it clean. Real estate agents are the worst. Can you go over again how you pay your employees per job? So when we did it per job, and we actually went back for Christmas lights, last year, Christmas lights, we went back to hourly rate. But before we went to hourly rate, we paid percentage, and we paid percentage per job. And percentage per job can be really good for you. And for Christmas lights, it's not good for you, but for pressure washing, it works really good for you. And it can work really good for the employee. Our employees make more money. If you got a good employee and knows how to get, like our guy that gets back by 1 or 2 o'clock, he made more money by doing percentage versus he does hourly. So what we would do is we would do $15 or 15% of every job. Now, if they got that job and there was a redo, they went back and they didn't get paid for the redo. Now, if they didn't have no redos for the week, or they had I think it was 1 to 2 redos per week, and they got so many 5-star reviews, or we give other incentives, we would bump our 15% up to 18%. So then they could get 18%. Most of the time, and that was keeping their truck clean, the whole 9 yards. Most of the time, they didn't get the 18%. So most of the time, it's stuck around the 15%. So when they get to 15%, they can make a lot of money doing 15%. 15% is a great way to make a decent amount of money. They can make, it's 15% of $1,000, $150. If we're shooting for $1,500, then that way is there. Now, his helper was usually hourly, and the goal was to get him up there. And most of the time, the way we built our trucks was a one-man show, and that's how we got away with the percentage-wise. Hope that answered your question. Keeping it. Okay, Benjamin Baker, his 600 is correct. All right. I don't have no more questions. I'm about questioned out. I'm ready for bed. I might answer that. I'll see what that question is. Again, go check out pressurewashhelp.com. I have a lot of great information there. If you would like to become a member, go check out the link below, pressurewashhelp.com/training. I have everything in. I have actually 3 modules in there. One module is all about pressure washing, how to bid jobs, how to quote, how to do everything you need to do with pressure washing, how to clean different stuff, all that kind of stuff. The next module is all about Christmas lights, and in that module I go over everything. And then the third module is marketing, and I haven't got the marketing all done yet. But I've been putting a ton of marketing stuff in there. For instance, last week I got it all uploaded of how to do Google My Business correctly and how to be able to and it's like 5 videos of nothing but Google My Business. Next thing this week, I'm going to be putting all about Adwords in there. I'm going to go out and show how my ads, I'll write my ads in there. I'm going to do everything there is about Google AdWords in there. I'm going to even put right now, I sell my negative keyword list for $50. That's going to be in my membership. So when you join the membership, you will get my 400 or 500 negative keyword list will be in the membership. My goal is to have it up this week. I don't know if I'm going to obtain that goal. It's a big goal, but my goal is to be able to have that up there. And that's kind of where I want to be at. The other thing in that membership is I'm going to do everything I'm going to find somebody that knows how to do Facebook ads, and I'm going to be putting that in there. And I'm just going to be putting so much information in there that you're going to be like mind blown, and you'll be able to go in there and be able to start and be successful. Let me see here. I got a bunch of thanks. Keeping it clean. I've been using the NextJet. Also, 3 machines per house, 275 buffer tank for. What type of 8-gallon is best for your buck? They're all about the same, to be honest. This was the best video in a long time. If this is I'm going to try to keep doing this every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. If I'm at the firehouse every third Saturday, every third Sunday, I will take off, and I'll probably do it on a Saturday morning. That way I kind of get both people. So I'm going to be doing a Saturday morning, and then I'm going to do Sunday night. So it'll be 2 Sunday nights and then a Saturday morning. I'm still going to do 2 videos a week. I'm doing one on hopefully Friday and Monday. Tomorrow I might actually, I've been sleeping. I've been out of town. I don't have that video ready. And it's going to be Christmas lights and pressure washing. So I'm doing both videos on here. I got a Christmas light channel at christmaslightshelp.com/YouTube, and it'll take you to that YouTube channel. But I'm going to be bringing more Christmas light stuff on here because this is my best channel, and I want it to really grow it. And this is the way I want to try to grow it. Hey, Steve Martin, thanks for showing up. Michael, thanks from Chicago. Thanks for showing up tonight, Mike. Simple Minded 57. Thanks for showing up and watching me talk for almost 2 hours now. Benjamin Bakerman, awesome. Thanks for showing up again. You were here in the beginning. You watched 2 hours of me. Jason at Coastal, thanks. Thanks, buddy, aka the Moss Boss. That's right. I like that. James Brown, you've been here the whole time. Thanks. I wish there was a way you could do phone conversations to chat with new guys in business. But anyway, good stream. There is one of my membership is with a Voxer app. The Voxer app, and that way if you have questions, it is $100 a month, but you can cancel at any time, and you get all the membership stuff. Plus, if you have questions, I will walk you through how to quote stuff. I will. I got a couple guys on here that blow my phone. I'm on this stupid thing all the time of how do I do this? How do I clean that? How am I going to screw this up? How do I do that? How do all that kind of stuff of how do I do this? And that's what the Voxer app is for. It's, how do I market? Where should I put money at? And I will walk you through all that kind of stuff. Right now, I don't have a limit to it, but I'm probably going to either bump that price way up or because I don't want to pull myself too thin, and I want to make sure that I'm giving that good information. I have an incredible massive job to quote, and I could really use some help. Please email me if so. You can email me at Ask Jason. I'll try to help you what I can, but really it's going to be that other side. I have an unhealthy, huge commercial job to quote. Would you be willing to converse with me? Would be willing to pay you for your input on this? How can I give your advice? Again, go to pressurewashhelp.com/training. And in there, you'll see the memberships, and then you'll see the one with the pressure wash help, or for the with the Voxer app. And some people are having problems with the Voxer app because they don't. One of my people is kind of old, and I will have a conversation with him with a phone call, and that way, especially because I'm also running his AdWords plus doing this, so I'm trying to do a lot of stuff. So I've been talking back and forth. And that's how I've been able to be sure that I can help him grow. I want to make sure he can grow. And he just started Adwords, and he got this huge, huge location for his business. So I'm really excited for that. How long is each session, and is there a contract? There is no contract. You can cancel at any time. And how long is the session? I don't know what you mean by session, but I mean, you get on the Voxer app and you ask questions, I'll answer them. And I'll probably throw questions back at you. And it's basically, I don't know if you know what Voxer is. It's basically like a walkie-talkie. But it also helps me where I can actually, I might not get right back to you right then, but usually I will. But most of the time I will get to you before the end of the night, and I will get you an answer for you. So any power wash convention this winter, keeping it clean. PWNA is having theirs this weekend, I think, or this weekend or next. There's a couple in Orlando in January usually. I don't know if the Kramers are going to do theirs in PA again this year in March. If not, they'll be in March. And then they always have the huge convention in what you call. One thing that I will be doing myself is I am going to do one-on-one training. It will be a one-day class. If you come here to the greater Cincinnati area, Responsive Con is in January, Phoenix, Arizona. That's a great way to grow your business. If you want to grow your business and blow it up, go there. There's a lot of smart people there. There's a lot of smart entrepreneurs there, and you will grow your business and be successful if you go there. Kurt does nothing half. He is a 100%. He is a great guy. Kurt Kempton is, and that's a great thing. But I'm going to do one-on-one training, whether it's for pressure washing or Christmas lights, and it will be right now it's $750. It's one day, because when I'm one-on-one, I can get through everything I need to. I did try to do it as a 2-day. It's hard for me to be able to schedule it around my schedule, so I'm going to do 1 hour or 1 day slots. It's a long day. It's about 8 to 10 hour day, but I can go over everything we need to do. And especially when I'm one-on-one, even if you got a lot of questions, I can move through the stuff pretty quickly. When I start getting into a group of people, what happens is you get 10, 20 questions, then we pushing it to the second day. Will I do 2 different, will I do a big class maybe on? Yes, but right now that is that. Signing up now, awesome. You get some sort of certification. I'll give you a certification. It's the certification that all of them are worth. A certification is worth crap. If you're a journeyman electrician, that certification means a whole lot because it's through a board or the state certification. A real estate license is worth a whole lot. People that are going to certify you for pressure washing or Christmas lights, if you do something stupid, they're going to be like, what certification? Bye. There's nobody to back you because there's no set of laws to back somebody. For an electrician or a plumber, they have a big code book that they go by, and that covers their tail. There's no code book that's going to cover your tail for a certification. I mean, I know I hit a soapbox there, and I'm actually going to do a video on certification because everybody's giving these certifications. Well, what's the certification for? I'll give you a certification. It's a piece of paper. Does it mean anything? Absolutely not. It's going to mean the same thing that when something happens to them, because they're going to say, well, I told him to do it this way and that way. And they're going to be like, did they follow that? No. NFPA is National Fire Code. It's just NFPA is only a recommendation. It's not even a certification. A certification's got to be, the electrical code is our certification. A plumber code is a certification because you have to be certified. A realtor has to be certified to be able to do it. And they have to follow everything that goes on there. So you're buying a logo. Absolutely, James. I love that. You're buying a logo. That's awesome. But all right, guys, I hope you all have a good week. Be successful this week. Go out and kill it. Like I say, fall is getting here, and so we're getting close to fall. The leaves are getting ready to fall. There's money to be made in the leaves. Go pick up some leaves. Go get some Christmas lights out. Do I do a home advisor? No. Did we do home advisor for Christmas lights? Yes. When we first started, home advisor is bottom of the barrel leads. Basically, it's the bottom of the barrel. So that's my thought about home advisor. But go be successful this week. Go kill it. If you're building your rig in that stage, try to get the next thing that you need to do. If you have a pressure washer and you're trying to move up to the next level, try to be prolific. If you're marketing, be prolific. If you're doing Facebook, be on Facebook every hour. Go out there, or do it every day. Be prolific every day that you're on Facebook, Instagram, or if you're doing whatever type of marketing you're doing, just be prolific. Go out there, kill it. Go get business. Be successful. If you're in the phase of growing, that's it. If you're in the phase of Christmas lights and you want to do Christmas lights in the wintertime, go check out that and go be successful in Christmas lights. That's a great way to be able to get through the winter months. Here in the Cincinnati area, we're getting close to, we're about done for pressure washing. So that's kind of why we did Christmas lights. Be successful and go change your world. See you all later.